Welcome to Attica Plays Railroad Corporation. All right, hi, this is Attica, and welcome to Campaign Mission 3 of Railroad Corporation. So let's just jump right into this thing. In our last mission, we focused on getting close to Atlanta, and we went through this portfolio and decided our strategy is going to be to try to maximize our passenger profit. So we've worked our way down here where we can get part one of the way to wealth, which is a 5% bonus in our passenger traffic. Now we've got a decision to make. We can either go down this path or this path. I want to keep getting as much of the passenger bonus as possible because they're the first lines that I typically build. That isn't necessarily the case. I may just, in fact, contradict myself on this very playthrough, but we'll see. So let's get more. So now we've got 5 and 6, 11%. So if we look at our character now, we're getting 14% reduction in the upkeep of our locomotives, 14% reduction in the upkeep of all of our buildings, and 11% bonus on passenger revenue. So we're starting to get there. And I have to say, I was thinking about it, I really like the way they have structured this portfolio, because you're kind of creating your own character. And if you think about this one, those of you who are my Railway Empire buds, I'm recreating the lady here. We're trying to turn into the lady by getting all this passenger revenue. Now I've still got 850 left. We could bump the mail revenue right now, or we could hang on and try to get this. I think having it now is better than later. So we can either do upkeep or this, or we could, go down a different track if we want. We can even reduce the cost of our locomotives. But let's get the mail revenue because that pops up pretty early. There we go. Now we spend all we can spend. So now let's look at our character. Beautiful. We've got 11% increase in passenger and 10% from mail. Lovely. All right, so let's get in there and get the next mission started. Okay, this one is called Monopoly. So we are going to be up in the Northeast, and our base is going to be in Utica, New York, and we're going to be just north of Albany. And what they want us to do, what we're going to talk about in this one, it's easier to show you in the mission. So what's going to happen here is here we are in Utica, and the concepts that we're kind of introducing into this now are building your own businesses, and also how you have to kind of grow these cities in order to create space for the businesses. Pardon me. So if you look down here, if you look right here at Utica, there's this one little plot of land right here, kind of squared off. That is a purchasable plot of land, or you can actually lease it. So there's a piece here. There's 2 in Albany. Let's see what else we got near us. We've got Hartford down here. You can see it doesn't have any. It needs to grow. We've got Springfield, Providence, and Boston. You see, Boston has a couple of spots in Springfield. Okay, all right. And what they're going to have us do, we have to, in the description it said that this guy kind of had agreed to build up Albany, and I believe it was Hartford, and another little town, which is a really little town over here called Stratford. Now Stratford has a spot for an industry, but it's just a little burg. There's nothing else there, and they have no demands. They are so small that they don't have any demands for goods. So you can see like Granville is a similar one, very, very small, but it has it has both a coal and an ore mine in it. So it does have demand, at least for that. Well, actually, in that case, it can supply those things. Yeah, that's right. These are green, which means the green are the supplies. So you can get coal and iron ore from Granville. but it doesn't need, the city itself is not asking for anything. That's because it's just too small. Now here's one that's just a slightly, well, here again, that's green, sorry. Green, so we can get logging from Marlboro. So we got these little tiny towns with some little industries in them. Our town of Utica is a small size. It's what I call a level 5 city, so it's got a little size. It's at least big enough to want some basic goods. So if we supply those goods, it will grow. But let's look around and see what we can do to really have a strong economy here. We want to get that economic footprint going right away. Well, they want us to construct a sawmill. Well, right here's logs in Springfield. We've got a spot in our capital here of our headquarters in Utica, and we can construct a sawmill. It'll create lumber, and guess what? Look right here. Albany needs lumber, and it'll pay $85.80 a person for it, whereas our passengers would pay $3.33 per 100 miles. So the ticket prices go up each 100 miles that you cover. So the longer the line, the more money you make. So we got all kinds of options here. One is go straight into the sawmill business, create the logs, send them to Albany, and make very good money on them. And they give us $200,000 to start with, which is a ridiculously large amount for this game, I think. But anyway, so we will take. But the other thing we could do, of course, is just use that $200,000, work our way down here, and have multiple passenger lines all set up and ready to rock and roll. And I think we're going to do that. No, just to be different, let's take the industry approach first. So let's do it like this. Let's construct our sawmill. And by the way, I don't always recommend that you just hit these objectives in order. In fact, I recommend you don't. I recommend you figure out your economy first. But I think we've got a plan here that'll absolutely work. We're going to put a small sawmill right there. So you saw what I did. I kind of bought the rights to the land, and then I constructed a sawmill. So now we've got a sawmill in here. It needs lumber. Our city needs lumber too. So we can, if we want, we can do both. The other thing we can do with all that money is we can purchase that logging while it's cheap. Well, it only costs us $32,000, and that's going to keep us. All we need to do is move 32 units up here, and we will have saved the entire investment. And then everything after that's just pure profit. So this is ours. This is ours. Our trains moving logs up here to the mill won't get paid. Our trains moving to Utica will get paid, which is nice. All right, so let's. And then, of course, we can sell them in Albany. All right, so we got that one out of the way. Next thing, we want a steel mill. We'll worry about that once we get our economy rocking and rolling. So let's go. Let's build a line directly to that sawmill or that logging supply, and then we'll set up a train. Make sure I don't have any trains already. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go, okay, the route is going to be, we can haul 5 at a time. We'll go up here. Let's put, let's do 4 and 1. Let's do four for you, 4 for our sawmill, and 1 to the city. So we'll get a little payment, what have you. That's just going to be a dead end line. It's just going to go back and forth and go. And that tells me that our service needs to be, we need a service facility right here. And you know what I didn't do? We could have done, we got so much money, we might be able to save even more money if we get an employee that we like. And we don't care about less office space. Well, she would be a long-term investment because salary's 50% less. Do we want to grab her while she's there? No. All right. So now we need, if we're going to make lumber, let's have a source or place to sell it. So we're going to go to Albany. and sell lumber. So we can set up a line. You know what? We're going to double track this because we're going to get passenger revenue as well. Not to mention the fact I like double track. I don't know if I've mentioned that or not, but okay. There we go. Now we've got it. Now we can run multiple trains. So let's fire off first of all one we know will work. Let's get our passenger revenue. And I'm going to try to do a better job than I did in mission 2 of making sure that these are not required. Set up our maintenance and all right, so now we've got a passenger line going down there, and we've got our train, our log train, and I'm going to immediately copy that train. No, I'm not, I'm broke. Okay. So our sawmill is now working. So what we can do here is modify this second train. So we're going to change his route slightly. We're going to say in Utica, we actually want you to pick up, pick up lumber. And yeah, and unload lumber. Now we can't, I don't think we can haul 4. We get 60 out of 85, so it would put it right up to the limit and make it quite slow. So we'll haul 3 lumber down to Albany and unload them, and they will not be required. And we'll keep bringing the people back. Okay. All right. So now we've got logs going up there. We're creating lumber in Utica. And we'll be able to pick that lumber up and take it down and sell it for a nice price in Albany. Uh-oh, some reason. You know what? There was a passenger already on there. Let's see if it'll unload all 4 of them. I'm going to have to dump one of those passengers because there was one. I guess there was one left, or when I made the change, there was already one on there that I hadn't, that had maybe come from Albany. Maybe it's too much. All right, so now now it can dump all 5. I guess I could have actually gone the other way. I would have been smarter. Told Utica to dump 5 passengers. That would have been even smarter. But assuming it would let me do that. But let's just look here at the price and look at the amount we get for those 3 lumber. $8,500 a pop. So it's like a 25 grand trip. That's nice. Notice our money racking up here. All right. So let's stop and think of what we want to do next. that's only going to last so long because it only needs 20. It's got, oh shoot, I keep in the city of Albany, which I'm trying my best to click on. Here we go. They only need 20. And they've got 5 now, so it won't take us too long to catch up and be supplying them too fast. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll deal. All right, so now we want to build Hartford. We know that. That's one of our core requirements. So let's take some of the money we've accumulated and get down here. And if we don't do anything else, let's supply Hartford. With people. So we can set up a line. Whoops. Well, we can get some more money, but that reminds me, let's see. More power, tunnels, don't care. She's still there, she's good. Get another 20% off rails if we hire this person. What's it cost us to put in? We need 10. We need 17,000. No, it's just not worth it right now. Okay, now we can put in another train. And we're going to have that train go from Albany to Hartford. And now let's do kind of an every other one kind of an approach and put in repairs there and get this one set up to be repaired. All right, so now we've got a nice line going there from Albany to Hartford. And we're starting to make money at a pretty good clip here, so let's go take advantage. Let's get down here to Springfield and take advantage of a couple of things. Okay, now we've got to hook up with Springfield, and what we're going to do here now is run a train that's going to pick up lumber, because Springfield needs lumber, and then we'll bring back, actually let's just do, no, let's not, let's run it all the way. Let's run passengers all the way up here. All right, so how are we doing? We're just, all right, we're racking up the money. Yeah, this is nice. All right, we can go to another town if we want to. Oh shoot, let's get them all. Let's go down here to Providence. And let's pick up Boston. And we've got mail here, so let's do a Boston to Springfield run. And we're going to expand to level 3. Shucks. Which side did that come out? Oh no, it's on the right side. Okay, good. So Springfield, you go up here to Boston. All right, so now we can, guys, we can do all kinds of stuff. Let's first set up a mail line. Now let's first make some more money. Here I am spending money like it's going out of style again. I'm sorry, Olive, I won't do that again. I probably will, but I'll tell her I won't. Okay, now we can set up a line. And we could mix, obviously, mail and passengers. That would work just fine as well. And let's set up another one. Let's put service in Springfield, and now we need to check some of these lines, make sure we have service turned on. Set it up and apply. Set it up and apply. There we go. Now there's more we could do down here, of course, but we need to stay on point here. So we're starting to rack up money at a good clip. Do we have another? Got our lumber going out to 2 cities. Now you notice Boston's big enough. I believe it is, yeah. Boston's a 35 city, it's a big city. It doesn't even need lumber. Lumber gets phased out for tools. Now a lot of them need meat. Meat is a great industry to have. You know, we could feed, my goodness. Why don't we do that? We've got a wheat field in Hartford. Let's see if we can't put a cattle ranch in Springfield and then have meat going out to feed 3 cities. I'm not sure you can build cattle ranches, but let's see. Right? Let's see. Yeah, that's it. What they call a small farm. We're going to put a farm in Springfield, of all things. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy this wheat field right here, once we have a little more money. And then what we're going to do is have the wheat, we'll have a train take wheat over here to Springfield. Then we're going to have this train take meat to Boston, and and meat back to Hartford. Oh, beautiful. So we're going to have this guy. Yeah, we'll wait and get some more money. So we're in our, I think we're in our first year. I didn't notice what day we actually started. And we'll get on point here in a minute, but this is fun, kind of figuring out these little things you can do. Meat is one that's going to stick around when these cities get big enough, so we want to keep feeding them meat. Notice, look here, the demand for lumber in Springfield is even bigger. So I think the other thing we could do, we have to build one anyway. Let's build a warehouse in Springfield. That took care of one of our requirements. And we'll pause for a second. So you've got a city market going here, so we can actually go out and buy stuff if we wanted to. For example, we could well, actually, take that back. What we need now, what we need is one more thing in our HQ, and we've got money now. Let's upgrade it a couple of times. And let's get our, oh geez, yes. Let's get our R&D going. We'll get our HR department, and we'll get a trading department. So now we can go to our warehouse, and we have this thing called a commodity exchange. And if we need a certain product for whatever reason, we can just buy it, or we can sell it if we're having an excess. So we're going to haul our lumber down to, or no, I'm sorry. Is that what I wanted to say? Yeah, we can haul the lumber down here and then use it, sell it wherever. Well, I mean, I haven't even started playing with this yet. But in our commodity market, if we wanted to like give Springfield or another city or something that they needed, or if we didn't want to build the industry and we wanted to feed Boston. So Boston, for example, let's see if this works. $12,650. So the price that they would pay and the price that we would buy it for here are exactly the same thing. I wonder if that's always true. 30,000. Yeah, it looks like it is. So he's sort of a break even. That's interesting. You could build a city on a break even proposition. Yeah, we'll have to play with that some more. Okay, that's a new one. That's going to take some more playing. But I do think I want to run the. Let's see. It's the one. God, I wish they had a way you could just filter this and say I want the ones that go in from here to here. Like I said, click on this station and show me all the trains in the station, or all the trains that use a particular piece of track or whatever. But also, I'm not sure this game's really meant to run a lot of trains. It really doesn't seem to be. What's this one? Here we go. Utica to Springfield. So what we're going to do here, instead of selling directly to Springfield, we're going to unload in that warehouse. There we go. So now we're going to load that warehouse up with lumber. And as it's needed, we can grab it out and ship it other places. We'll also see if it doesn't satisfy Springfield's needs. Okay. What else? Let's just make a little more money. Time to get back on point and play the scenario. We need to construct a steel mill is the next thing they're asking us for. Oh, I forgot. Shoot. I forgot a little deal down here with the meat. We need a line. We did buy that, didn't we? Yes, we did. So we want a line that goes here. We'll go with 5 and put some in this farm. Oh, and then in Springfield, to come back, you can grab meat. And a couple of passengers. That'll work. Unload meat. And again, because it's a city station, we want everything optional. And go. And let's just try, let's go here. Well, no, let's just take 4 down here. And let's do one more. Make a little more money, we'll do one more. All right, that's enough playing around. Okay. We should see our money start coming back in very nice big chunks here real soon. All right, so now we've got to think about getting back on point, constructing a steel mill. So what we've got here, steel needs coal and iron ore, and look right here, as we pointed out earlier, we can get them both in one place, so that's great. And then we want to build up Stratford, so we could have Stratford be our steel mill if we wanted to, or we've got Warrensburg nearby that could has an open slot. What else has an open slot? Portland has an open spot for a steel mill as well. Interesting. I think what I'd like to do, we want to go steel and then we want to go tools. So let's put our steel mill in Warrensburg. And I can't believe how cheap they are. So now we have a steel mill. And so we've got some demand now in Warrensburg because with the steel mill they need coal and iron, and we're going to get that right over here. So let's make some more money. And one investment we can make that would certainly help us here. We've made Springfield into a little railroad hub, so we want to make sure and oh man, I didn't queue up any research. Come on, get with it. All right, we've got the John Bull. We're skipping the Clinton. All right, we got to do this one. We didn't finish that last time. We're going to do this one, put everybody on it, which is going to open up the Jervis, and then we're going to start going after the Jervis big time with our research. What's this T4? Why is it just sitting there? All right, so now our money's looking good. Let's start doing something with it. First thing, we want to own these. no reason for us to pay for coal or iron ore. Now we want to run a line. Let's expand this station. Oh, good. It gave us the line in the right direction, and we'll go up here, and we're going to kind of hug the side so that we can line up our station here, pointing over here toward the coal and iron. So go, and we're actually going to be running stuff up through there. So this is going to need double track. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay. See, here's a case. Look at Albany has 20 out of 20 wood that it needs. Okay, we want to have a track that goes from our steel mill over to, oh, it looks good. All right. Okay, so now we've got our coal and iron hooked up, and we want it, definitely want it double tracked as well. Alright, so now we can set up trains, and since they're coming out of one, we'll get equal, well, how many can we hold here? 44 out of 85. Okay, we can do 3, so we'll do one train for each one. And this one we will run full. So you go. And you go. And then okay. So now we need to get over here to this other city we know we need to develop, which is Stratford. So we'll line it up. Double track it, and now what we're going to do is buy up this land and put in our weapons factory. Or I'm not sorry, tool factory. Okay, so now we've created. So now Stratford, even though it has no other demand, we have created demand for lumber and for steel. Well, guess what? Our lumber is right here. No, sorry, right here in Utica. And we need some more money. And we need to deliver tools to Portland. Okay, well, isn't that nice? Okay, so let's get some trains going from Utica, picking up lumber. Dropping it off there. And let's do a couple of those. And then we want to start moving our steel. The steel is over here. We can, okay, now we can either do a dedicated steel train that goes back and forth, or we can use these trains. I think what I'd like to do is take this guy here. He's going to unload in Granville. Then he's going to pick up steel, or no, in Warrensburg. Pick up steel. Then we carry a couple, drop those off at the tool factory, and complete his route. And this will be optional. If they're ready, you grab them. If they're not, you just keep moving. And then let's see, next. And this guy here can do the same thing. He can load steel in Warrensburg, drop it off there, optional, go. All right. All right, so we should be creating tools fairly soon here. We've got our steel mill going. We know we've got lumber going. As a matter of fact, if we wanted to, we could stop sending lumber to Albany. Notice how we've grown. We're now a 10 of 10. We've doubled in size, basically. Whoops. Go to Albany and unload passengers. And go. Oh, we've got posts. My goodness, there's just so much. It's hard to keep up with all of it. We now have post office. And let's see. I wish I'm going to quit saying that, but I do wish I could tell what's on this line right here, or who's coming into this station, or something. Just give me some little clue. And we got to check on service up here. I think we're going to put service right here because I may have a goof up on. Let's see, these guys, yeah, they need service. Make sure to hit apply. Okay. All right, let's build our line over to Portland. We'll go over here and we'll fulfill this contract right there with the dollar sign, and we will, well, for now that's all we'll do. And I'm going to make that one, require that one to be full. Right now there's no point in it running unless it's full. What else we got to do here? Delivery of tools, develop Albany. See, Stratford is at 450, it's tiny. That's going to be the hardest one. But watch what happens to Stratford as we start bringing in lumber and steel. No, that's the lumber. We brought in lumber. I think we'll start seeing development once we start actually making. Here we go. We're starting to make the tools. There we go. Now that it's actually producing something, it's developing. People are moving in. I guess we're creating new jobs in Stratford for people to work in our tool factory. So we've started developing Stratford, and we're going to have to keep watching it. We've got Hartford in good shape. We need to develop Albany a little more, but it is developing. And Stratford is developing. And we're going to keep an eye on Stratford to see when it gets big enough to request other things. I think it's at a population of 1,000, it'll start wanting some other things. So Albany's almost done, almost where we need it to be, 15,000. All right, Albany has done, good deal. We have our tool factory, our steel mill. So our focus now is developing, we're going to have to hustle. You know what we're going to have to do? We've got 363 days. We're going to have to take T16 here. I'm not sure. Let's see what where he goes if he has no orders. We're actually going to have to delay. He's just going to run back and forth. We don't want him doing that either. I think what we're going to do here is say, you know what, they need tools in Boston. Yes, they do. So let's expand our Boston station. And let's see, do we want to go out the back or the front? Let's go out the front. We'll buy that section. We're going to expand this guy. Hey, he's on the wrong side, so we'll expand him again. Make him a level 5, and then we're going to run this line in like so. Come on. Come on. Like so. And what we're going to do is redefine this. Whoops. T16 is no longer going to go to Portland. It's going to load tools, unload in Boston. And for now, it won't bring anything back because Stratford's not big enough. But as soon as we have people pop up here, we'll start bringing them back from Boston on this train. All right, and the reason we're doing this is we're actually stalling because I don't want this to end too quickly. We've got 350 days, so we want to work on developing Stratford. And we're not getting enough iron. So one of the things we can do we're going to copy that train and copy that train. So we're doing more coal, more iron ore, and more deliveries up to Stratford. We got to keep it going. I mean, it's just good business to keep it going. Aha, now here we go. Let's pause and talk about this. Now, when it hit 1,000, now we've got some demands. It wants wheat and it wants wood. Well, we've got wheat right here. And this is where you wish, you do wish you could do junctions. Like just a simple little T or Y junction here would mean we could just fire off and use that line, which is the way you would do it in any real life or railroad game. So I think what we'll do instead is just say, we only need one track, so let's just do this. Let's do, we'll come out like, oh man, right here. Like so. And of course we'll buy that. And we're going to set up a train. To haul goods into Stratford. Okay, now that's one thing. And they also want lumber. Now we can do a couple of things. Right there's a lumber mill. Yeah, that would be the obvious thing to do. All right. Another thing we could do, by the way, is put a warehouse in Portland, buy some lumber, and then run it up. Well, we don't even have a train going there. Never mind. All right, let's stick with the obvious and simple one. We'll go like this. And this one we're going to have to divide backwards because the router can bring us up here to Stratford from Utica, but it won't necessarily go back there properly. So what we're going to do is say dump your lumber here, pick up your lumber here. We could haul lumber from the one we already own, but that's just why it's just too far. We'll haul 5. So we'll dump 5. And go. And the other problem we're going to have to do is this needs to be a service facility. Now see, this is, let's see what happens when this T16 gets down here. Look at that, 34,000 a pop. So okay, our money's going splendidly now. Is Stratford growing? There we go. It's getting wheat. And this is a defect. This has to go away. Or wait a minute, maybe I can move. No. See, this is another little fix they need to do. It's showing me where else you can look at for wheat, but it won't move out of the way. So regardless of what I do, it sits on top of my thing, and it's not, so I can't even see how many I've got. Good news, I can go down here and see 2 out of 20. So we've got it supplied with wood, we got it supplied with, and now it needs coal. All right, so pause. It needs coal, and we've got, there's coal where, well, obviously we could get coal right here in Granville and run it over. How easy would that be? Yeah, geez. Of course, that's what you'd do. That's good enough. Just do that. Take them coal. We're 185, so we're in good shape. We're growing Stratford. Is that right? Stratford. It's an odd comment. Okay, Stratford. All right, what's the hold up here? All right, this is showing T16 down here, but here it comes. So we might be time for us. We'll watch this 16 when it gets up here. Pause. I think what we're going to do now with T16 is say, okay, you're done with Boston. Now we want you to go over here. And make your deliveries. There we go, looking good. All right, so we've got Stratford developed, and we've got our train going back making deliveries. We're pumping out tools quickly. How many do we have? We have 26, my goodness. Oh, and I forgot to do we're going to finish before this ever happens, but I'll set it up. There, didn't quite make it. All right, so we finished everything. We got our work faster bonus. We built a steel mill and construction. We developed 3 cities. So this one showed us all about how to grow cities, the basics of how to grow cities, how to purchase land rights in growing cities so that we can put in our own industries, how to build our industries, and then how to set up the supply chains for them, including this one we had, the fairly complex supply chain of coal and ore going to a steel mill, steel going to a tool factory, wood going to a lumber mill, lumber going to the tool factory, then tool factory making us tons and tons of money. So that was a good one. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Railroad Corporation video. Thank you.